question is, how can an individual in a society which is professed as open and free hope to have autonomy if his rights as a citizen toward redress are curtailed, even abrogated by fiat or by executive order, even in times of public health emergency? I think that's one of those situations where you go, the solution to this isn't people in Kentucky suing the state because an order adversely affects their business. You don't want to have the state of Kentucky having to engage in their own courts with their own citizens. A lawsuit is never the best solution to anything. A lawsuit just is make-work project for lawyers. So I don't think suing is a good idea, but definitely autonomy has to be maintained. It is, you are still a citizen of a democracy. So you still have inalienable rights as a citizen, but you also have inalienable responsibility. If the government consensus is in Kentucky, we want everybody to go home and you're not allowed to go out and do any kind of commerce, then again, it has to be, okay, we as the citizens and as public-spirited citizens will allow that because the government serves at our pleasure, but we will allow that only up to the point where we can see that the problem is being solved, which Kentucky's efforts and the governor of Kentucky's efforts, I think, are better directed towards Congress and towards the White House, saying the instruments do exist. We've proved that the Fed can create money in unimaginable amounts, and we know that we can pump it out through the system. What we have to do is say, here's a reasonable amount to do that with on a state level or on a federal level, and here's how long we're going to do it. And we will revisit the question in 30 days and have a free vote on, is this doing what we want it to do? Do we want to do this differently? Do we want to stop doing this? Or what is the question? I did write under Brian West's observation there, you can vote to change a democracy into a police state. You can't vote to change a police state into a democracy.
Yeah, I agree with that very much.
So it's a matter of, if you're going to go police state, and we can certainly, all of us as reasoning people, see the persuasiveness of the argument, that has to happen. Then it has to happen temporarily. It has to be, no, we do this up to a specific point. Right now we're at the point of 2 weeks of just executive fiat. Everybody stay at home. All aspects of the economy are shut down except for grocery stores and pharmacies and vital infrastructure. 2 weeks, we can go along with that, getting a little frayed around the edges, but it's okay. I don't think you want to go past 30 days before you say, no, we have to decide what we're going to do here. And it does look like you do have a consensus in the United States. I mean, given the complete poison of the red state versus blue state thing, the fact that everybody seems to be in unanimous agreement that creating $3.2 trillion and pumping it out into the economy is what we're going to do. Now we just have to figure out how we're going to do it. It's one of the things that I've definitely always admired swim when you get there. In Canada, it's like we won't even go into a wading pool without triple redundancies and guaranteed safeties and a lifeguard and all the rest of it. And it's like there comes a point in the course of human events where you need that. You need we're resourceful people. We have goodwill. We will get through this.
I was shopping when this all started because Paula and Janice got sick with the flu. They went to the,
Right.
and I'm at Walmart picking up. I'm only buying necessities. Because they have the flu, so I'm getting chicken noodle soup. I'm getting Gatorade. I was gonna get bread to make sandwiches, and there was no bread. And then at that point, it's like, well, I'm in a zombie apocalypse movie. I'm gonna walk around and just see what's here. And I walked past the eggs, and the eggs were gone. They had no eggs at all. And I ran into a guy I work with, and he's telling me, oh yeah, I was here the other day, and he saw someone he knew who was buying 12 dozen eggs to get him through the next... And both he and I are shaking our heads going, you're going to eat 144 eggs before they go bad?
Exactly. It's, man, oh man, you really have to wonder about the thinking, in quotation marks, that those people do. It's,
I read an article about why is there no toilet paper, and it was boiled down to psychology. Is in a crisis, people try to control what they can. So they, retail therapy. I'll go shopping, and then I'll be in control of the situation. And you're buying the necessities, and your brain goes, toilet paper. We're going to need toilet paper, whether or not you actually need it. You're thinking that, so you start stocking up. And that's stage one. And then stage two is somebody comes through and sees, hey, that guy's got a bunch of toilet paper. There must be something going on. I'm going to buy toilet paper.
right.
And then stage three is you go to buy toilet paper because you actually need it and there's none there. And I think we're at stage four of, well, the truck's coming in on Tuesday, so be here when we open. We might have some.
Yeah. Shoppers Drug Mart, which is the place that I'm shopping because it's the closest at hand, and it's a pharmacy grocery store fusion thing that Loblaws does in Canada. And I was in there a week ago Saturday, and one of the girls was telling me they sold 7 skids of toilet paper in a pharmacy grocery store combination. So it's one of those. Galen Weston, who owns Loblaws in Canada, it's a license to print money for him right now. I mean, he's got all of his supply lines worked out. He does the Loblaws grocery store chain, which consists of a bunch of different brand names, and also the Shoppers Drug Mart chain. And he's got all of the supply lines worked out. It's just a matter of filling them. And it's like if you're looking for a stock to buy right now, if you do have some disposable income, I would say grocery store, because this is like a 500% increase that they're all getting in people shopping. They're not shopping once a week anymore. They're shopping once a day, and they're clearing out whole sections that then get refilled and get cleared out and refilled and cleared out. In North America, we're very, very good about grocery store supply line. We've got that part figured out, unlike Italy, unlike Red China, unlike Russia. So this will work out. It will work out. Just everybody take a chill pill.
That's what I've been saying for 3 weeks now.
Yeah. It's very difficult, though, because it is complete human nature. Bob Burden's, this calls for an emergency. So an alternate question that Brian West had, if the first question I offered here seems uninteresting, who was a better goalie, Fuhrer or Hasek? And it's like, you're way past hockey level of interest beyond just the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is what it dwindled down to. You should be asking about Johnny Bower and Gump Worsley, and my answer would be check their goals against average and how many shutouts they had career, regular season, and how many shutouts they had in the playoffs. I think shutouts in the playoffs, that's how you determine who the best goalie is. And talk about from the sublime to the ridiculous. There we go. Okay, and Glenn asks, this question today will likely only interest Canadian readers of A Moment of Cerebus like myself. What do you think of Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister? It is necessary, according to Thumper's advice, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So moving on to David Birdsong's question, that's unkind. That's unkind. Monsieur Trudeau is in a very unenviable position right now, and he doesn't really have a background in too many things that would help him in this situation. One of the instances that I would use is I think that Donald Trump is a better Christian than Justin Trudeau is a Christian, although they're both Christians in a very, very loose sense, in more of a loose sense than one of the really interesting things that I see going on right now is the war of wills going on between Vladimir Putin and King Salman of Saudi Arabia, which I think is going to come down to who is the better monotheist. Is Vladimir Putin a better Russian Orthodox Christian than King Salman is a Sunni Muslim? And whoever that is will end up prevailing in the situation. But if you're talking about the irresistible force and the immovable object, I think that's a perfect example of that one that goes probably very, very high up in the actual pecking order that eventually culminates at God. God and his angels will have to arbitrate between Vladimir Putin and King Salman. And obviously I have no idea what King Salman is actually like as a Muslim or how Vladimir Putin actually is as a Russian Orthodox Christian. But I'm pretty sure that is pretty well known at in the upper levels in proximity to God, and is probably causing, we didn't need for this to happen right now, kind of thing. But that's exactly what happens in these kinds of situations, whereas they say, when God enters in upon his work, God is not mocked. We had pretty much convinced ourselves that we were able to turn the clock back to September 10th, 2001, and it's like, no, you're forgetting the impact of 9/11. You're forgetting that went on for weeks, that went on for months. David Letterman, completely incapable of doing a television show for weeks, and then having to have a sob fest with Dan Rather on the first night back. Okay, you've almost completely lost that over the ensuing 18 years and 6 months. But, okay, here's what happens when you try to go, okay, let's just forget that happened and let's go back to party. One thing I can pretty much guarantee everybody is I don't venture to say, in the coming months, particularly, than party, party, party. Party, 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 no. Scripture, fasting, prayer. If you can only force yourself to do it once a week, or once every 2 weeks, or once every 3 weeks, hey, at least you're that much closer to God than you've been in the rest of your life. And, that will serve you far more in good stead than anything else. You're asking my opinion. That's my opinion on that. But like I say, the King Solomon and Vladimir Putin, that I think probably goes up much higher in the hierarchy than what's the situation between Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump. I'm hoping that I think Donald Trump is, as I say,